I'm Olga Fitzroy and I'm a recording engineer, mixer and producer. I started my career at Air Studios in London. I started as a runner, so I spent a lot of time making tea for people, and I worked my way up to assistant engineer and then engineer. I've worked on projects including the Olympics. I worked on Coldplay albums. I work on quite a lot of film and TV programmes as well, so I've recorded the music for the last 2 Doctor Who series with the composer Segun Akinola, which has been really fun because it's been a bit of a new direction for Doctor Who, and a female Doctor as well, which is fantastic. And I've also worked on the latest series of The Crown, which I'm just a massive fan of that show anyway, and I loved working with the composer Martin Phipps on that show as well. Working on film and TV is a bit different to band sessions, but there's actually quite a lot of similarities. On film and TV, you need to be super organised and plan everything. But actually, I can take that into my band recording as well, because even though you have to be a bit more flexible with bands, if actually your basis is organised and solid, it means that any changes, any free-flowing stuff, you can actually do it really quickly because your setup is clean, it's tidy, it's organised, so there's quite a lot of crossover between the two worlds. When I started at Air, a lot of the sessions I did was being the second assistant on all the big sessions, which tend to be in the hall and they tend to be orchestral sessions. So, I didn't really have a choice, I was immersed in that world. And I guess these days, fewer and fewer bands are recording in big studios, so I think you can't really work in a big studio without doing film and TV music. But it so happens I really liked it and I really enjoyed it. We also had some quite interesting questions from the students. So I think one of the really good questions was about, how you act in the studio and how important it is to actually kind of interact with people, how to read personalities, how to read the room, but really just getting on with people. That's kind of the most important skill in all of this, I think. I think just be enthusiastic. I think, if you really love it, and it's a lot of commitment, a lot of long hours, and while you're starting out, you might not be being paid very much. But I think if you can commit to those hours and being enthusiastic, and if you're still enjoying it, then it's really worthwhile. I love making something. You go into work in the morning and you've got a bunch of microphones, an empty room, and at the end of the day you've made a recording happen. I would say that if you're having a stressful day, maybe things aren't going to plan. I mean, ultimately we're making records, we're not performing surgery, nobody's going to die at the end of the day. The worst thing that could happen is a take doesn't get recorded. So I think have perspective. And also, sometimes a mix might be tricky, you might be getting lots of comments and it's still not right, and still that at the end of the day or the week you will be finished that mix and it will get done. So I think have faith and try not to panic. Real highlights, I guess one that I often talk about but it's still a massive highlight is when I worked on the last ever Beatles recording. So we recorded a new arrangement of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which is George Harrison's song for the Love album. I think it was about 2006 we recorded it. And Sir George Martin had written this new arrangement and he came out and conducted the orchestra, and it was just one of those really magical moments in the studio. That's definitely my highlight.